Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. It's been a while. I have bangs now. Let's talk about it. So, a lot has changed in the past 5 years that I've been away. Let's start with the most obvious, my bangs. I know. You don't have to tell me. I'm already aware. Thank you. They look good. Well, they're acting a little weird today, but I also just trimmed them. And I trimmed them myself because I can't be bothered to go see someone every week and a half when they start hitting my eyelashes and start to bother me. So yeah, they're acting a little weird today, but let's talk about the other more obvious change since the last time I was here. I'm in a different filming space now. So I'm still figuring out how I want the background to look. So don't be surprised if that changes. The book stack that I have here next to me is definitely going to be changing. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I have a video coming out about that though. So keep an eye out for that one. So I tried to make the background very me, but again, don't be surprised if it changes over the next few videos while I'm still kind of figuring everything out. What are my bangs doing? Anyways, like I was saying, I tried to make my background very me, but I'm still tinkering with things, so don't be surprised if it changes a little bit over the next few videos. I'm still figuring things out. It's okay. It's been 5 years. I'm allowed. So last time I posted was May of 2021. So I was still in college. It would be another 2 years until I graduated, which your girl graduated. And so that was 2 years of the 5 years I've been gone. The other 3, I have been teaching middle school. I absolutely love it. It's definitely challenging, but I have really just fallen in love with the kids that I work with. I always, especially when I was in school, thought I would be more suited to teach high school, but in the 3 years that I've been teaching middle school, again, I've really fallen in love with middle school, which if you knew me in middle school, you understand how ironic that statement is. I hated middle school while I was in it, but absolutely love it now as a teacher. So shout out to my 7th graders, my 8th graders, all of my former students. I know some of you follow me on socials, so if you ended up here, yeah, hi, love y'all. Hope you're having a good summer. Please read something. Please. If you do nothing else this summer, read one thing that isn't a TikTok caption. For me. For your school mother. Thank you. I've also done a bunch of incredible theater related projects in the past 5 years. I got my first leading role in a musical. That was actually this past October that I did that. So that was really fun. Not this past November, but the November before. So that was November of 24. I made my 54 Below debut, which was exciting. Got to work with some really brilliant people on that. Here's a little video or picture. Oh my god, I'm not posting a video of me singing on here. No. If y'all want that, you will have to find it elsewhere. Probably on my Instagram. I think I have a video of me singing on Instagram. But here's a picture from that. It was D&D themed, so super fun, super up my alley. If you know anything about me offline, you know I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons nerd. I have all of my D&D books over there on a different bookshelf with all of my board games. So I was both a performer and a co-producer for that cabaret. I did a few bucket list shows like Jesus Christ Superstar, which I did this past April and May. I was also in She Kills Monsters, Star Kids Trail to Oregon, so a bunch of bucket list shows for me. I also started a D&D podcast with my best friend, and like all great D&D campaigns, it died the noble death of scheduling issues. So I'm gonna link the podcast or the channel for the podcast in the description. I'll also put it up in the card. I think it's gonna be in that corner. I'll feel really silly if it's actually in this corner. It's gonna be in one of the top corners. I'm pretty sure it's that one though. But that leads me to why, after 5 years away from this channel, I'm finally coming back. So me talking about Crit Starters, which was my D&D podcast, actually kind of is the perfect segue to me talking about why I'm coming back, because it was in that process of doing that podcast with my friends that I fell back in love with content creation. Because not only was I the lead dungeon master, so I created the world and was in charge of writing the material for most of the sessions. A lot of it was based off of what I created, and then the raw footage would all get sent to me. So then I was also doing the editing, I was creating the social media clips that would get posted, and it was in creating, writing for, producing, directing, editing that podcast that I really kind of re-sparked my love for content creation. And so that ended last summer. And kind of since then, I've gotten the itch of I want to edit videos, I want to post videos. Not gonna lie though, it took me a lot longer than I'd like to admit to remember that this channel was literally sitting here this whole time as an option. So this past school year, I was teaching my kids how to write book reviews. And so part of their project was that they had to take their written book reviews and turn it into a video book review. Yeah, you might already be catching the irony that I finally caught up on. So it was when I was writing all of the kind of teaching material for that unit, that was the thing that ran down to the basement, opened up the breaker box, flipped the switch, and turned on the light bulb that I forgot I screwed in. And reminded me hey, this channel exists, why don't we post there? So between that and failing to read more than my mom, my sister, and my brother-in-law 3 years in a row on Goodreads, that kind of lit a fire under my butt to kind of come back to this channel. And I want to use this channel to really channel, pun partially intended, the creative energy that kind of doesn't really have anywhere to go in my classroom, because in my classroom I still have a curriculum to teach, but on my YouTube channel I just have me. So this is where I want to be able to put all of that extra creative energy that doesn't quite fit in my classroom. Also, for the first time in actually literally 10 years, I don't have a job for the summer. So I got time. And some of that's going to be here. Some of that time is going to be spent here. So I have a lot more time to dedicate to reading and making videos than I used to. Because it used to be just, I would make videos when I had both time and energy. This summer, I have nothing but both. So, I'm back. So now I need us to sit down and we're going to talk about what my plans for this channel are moving forward. Right? We're switching things up a little bit, just a little bit. So first, I'm rebooting my series that initially got me started with this channel. I used to call it Classic Book Reviews. It has gone through a name change. We're rebranding it. And now that I'm certified to teach in 2 states, which therefore, as we all know, makes me an expert and definitely not 3 squirrels with ADHD in a trench coat holding a thesaurus, the series is now going to be called Grading the Classics. I think it makes me sound a little fancier. It's the same premise, same format, just different name. That's it. I've already gone back and renamed the old videos, so if you are going back on the channel, looking at the other 3 videos I posted, you'll already know that the title has changed, but in the actual content of the video, I still call it Classic Book Review Series. I unfortunately cannot go back to 2021 Gab and tell her, no. In 5 years, we're gonna come up with something better. Just hold off. Unfortunately, my degree did not give me the ability to time travel, so she will still be saying Classic Book Reviews, but the series is now called Grading the Classics. So with that, I will be picking up exactly where I left off. Let me grab her. So for those of you who have already watched the series, this little bad boy should look familiar. We are going to be going back for Dante's Inferno. We're finally going to get her done. But I also, another prop, hold on. I have to actually get up and get this one. Y'all don't know how many wires are right there. There are so many wires. So this is my new little bestie. You probably won't be able to see that because of the ring light, but it says Grading the Classics on the lid. This is my new little jar. So essentially what she's going to be used for is to help give the series a little spice. I'll put her right there. So what I used to do at the end of each classic book review video is I would look at my list of all the books I wanted to do for the series, and I would just pick one on my own. But I think it'd be a little more fun to have a little chaos. So I will no longer be choosing the next book. At the end of each video, I will be grabbing the jar, and you will see in real time as I reveal the next book for the series, because it's no longer just me picking. The jar picks. I'm just the vessel through which that information is delivered. Right now the jar is a little sparse, you may notice, because I want to just start with books that I already have. So as I finish up this jar, then I'll put the rest of the titles in, and this will look a little more full. But for now, it's just the books that I already own, excluding Inferno, because I already started reading her. I already scripted out the first portion of that video where I talk about what I already know before reading. I've started reading her, so we're making progress on that one. But yeah, I think the jar will be more fun. So that's that about the Grading the Classics series, formerly known as Classic Book Reviews. I also want to use this channel to kind of bring in my experience as a teacher, talk about how kids nowadays are interacting with reading, or in some instances aren't interacting with reading, both in and out of school, as well as just like general cultures around reading. I want to do more modern book reviews, right? So not just the classics. I actually have, right over here, I've started reading Sunrise on the Reaping. I taught the Hunger Games this year. I've had Sunrise on the Reaping for a little bit, haven't read it, but I'm reading this one mostly just for fun, but I think I also might try and do a review on it, especially if I can get it done before the movie comes out. So that's kind of my challenge to myself. So again, want to do more modern reviews. I want to also explore a bit more of the intersection between literature and other forms of storytelling and entertainment. So movies, theater, video games, that kind of stuff. How all of those things kind of intersect. And I want to definitely be able to use my knowledge and my expertise as a teacher to bring that perspective into the booktube space. I feel like that's not one that's seen super often. There are definitely people who are readers, right? That's a lot of what booktube is, but I think it would be really interesting and refreshing to also have the perspective of someone who is actively teaching reading to the next generation. I know that that's a perspective that I as a teacher would want to see more in booktube. So be the change you want to see in the world, right? Taking it upon myself to be that person. I have some video concepts that I'm really excited to explore that I have on my to-do list for the summer. So I'm just really pumped that I finally have the time and the space and the opportunity to really invest back into this channel and pursue this as kind of just a creative way to get out that energy in me. I've been wanting to come back to this for a bit. My goal for now is to upload every other week. I may adjust that as needed, but that's currently my plan. So last thing on my little docket here is just letting y'all know what I've been currently reading. So right now, I'm currently juggling a few books. So as I mentioned, I've started Inferno. I've also been reading Sunrise on the Reaping. I've also been getting into manga recently. I've been talking about it a lot with my students. Also, my brother-in-law is very into manga. So I've been working my way through Komi Can't Communicate. I've also been reading Attack on Titan. That's on my Nook. And I also recently... I put her somewhere. Do I have her here? I do have her here. Hold on. I recently went to Barnes & Noble, which probably wasn't the best decision for a summer where I have no income, but I got some books that I'm pretty excited about. So I got Straight On Till Morning. I've been really obsessed with this particular series. It's not all by the same author. It's the Disney Twisted Tales. If you're not familiar, they're excellent. I really especially enjoyed, Reflection. Reflection is the Mulan Twisted Tale. So that asks the question, what if Li Shang had died and Mulan wasn't able to save him? I also really enjoyed Tale as Old as Time, which is the Beauty and the Beast retelling, talking about what if the enchantress who cursed the beast was Belle's mother. Part of Your World was also great, and Go the Distance was also excellent. I have a bunch of these that I still need to read, but I just got Straight On Till Morning. Very excited about this one. If you can't read it, I can barely read it in the camera, but the kind of main question, because every book in this kind of series has a main what if question that the whole book is based on. So the question for Straight On Till Morning, which is a retelling or adaptation of Peter Pan, asks, what if Wendy first traveled to Neverland with Captain Hook? And so that's kind of the premise behind that one. I also got volume 6 of Heartstopper. I absolutely love this series. I'm super excited to read it. This is my comfort graphic novel. I love her. I have 2 volumes of Komi Can't Communicate actively in my little book holder transporter. So I have volume 2 and volume 3. I already read volume 1. That is on my bookshelf over behind the camera. My bookshelf with all the books I still have to read is over there. The next video I film is going to be all about that bookshelf in particular, as well as the stack I have right here, the stack that I have right here that you can't see on the table, and the entire bookshelf. I have a problem. Anyways. And then I also got Delicious in Dungeon Volume 1. I almost also got Volume 2, but this was $15. So I figured I'll just wait until I read Volume 1 and then I'll get Volume 2. Whereas Komi Can't Communicate was like $9 per volume. So that's why I could rationalize getting more than one volume at the same time. But I really love the anime of this. A content creator that I love, Damien Haas, is the lead voice actor in the English dub of the anime. So normally I watch anime with subtitles. unless one of my favorite voice actors is in the dub, in which case I will watch the dub. That's how I did Full Metal Alchemist. That's how I've been doing Delicious in Dungeon. Very excited for season 2. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been reading. So this is the main one because she's got a video attached to her. So I've been trying to dedicate a lot of my time to that one. So expect the video on her sooner rather than later. Hoping to have that video done and ready to be put out before summer's over. All right, my loves, now that you've been caught up on everything that I've been up to, where I've been, why I'm coming back, all that fun stuff, it is time for me to send you back out into the world. Thank you so much for joining me in my cozy little corner of the internet. I hope to see you back here soon. Be kind, be brave, go find a good story out there. Love you. Mwah. Bye.